looking at the important things that help to develop our teenagers, okay? And so there are developments in the teenagers' education systems around the world. So we're just taking a sneak peek into some of those areas that are very, very interesting. So we're looking at mastery-based learning and the benefits that are there for teenagers. So mastery-based learning, MBL, is an educational approach that focuses on students demonstrating deep understanding of a topic before moving on. And we don't know what's going on. We can easily remember stuff in terms of cramming, but do we have a full revelation of what is the subject matter? It's particularly beneficial for teenagers due to their developmental stage. And so there are some key advantages. So there is what's known as personalized learning. Okay? So personalized learning is an educational approach that tailors instruction to meet the unique needs, interests, and learning styles of each student. For teenagers, this can be particularly beneficial as they navigate the complexities of adolescence. Hi, Pap. Personalized learning is very, very important. I wish we had this back in our days, but anyway, we move right along. So key components of personalized learning for teenagers include student-centered approach, which is teenagers are active participants in their learning process. They have a choice in setting goals, choosing learning activities, and assessing their progress. And then, of course, we've talked about the data-driven instruction, which is teachers use data to understand students' strengths, weaknesses, and learning preferences. This information informs instructional decisions. And then this is what's known as flexible pacing. Students progress through the curriculum at their own pace, allowing for deeper understanding and mastery of concepts. And then multiple pathways, which is personalized learning, offers diverse learning paths to cater to different interests and learning styles. Whereas there's now the important thing that we cannot avoid is the technology integration. Technology can be used to personalize learning experiences, providing access to a wealth of resources and tools. So there are benefits of personalized learning for teenagers, which is, I guess, again, the increased motivation. When students feel engaged and challenged, their motivation to learn increases. If you can relate to this here, I'm sure you can put your hand up and say, aye. Because in class, if you do not have any synergy or you're not synchronized with your teacher, it doesn't go down well. It never ends well, really. And so there's also what's known as improved academic performance. And so personalized learning can lead to higher achievement levels as students receive targeted support. Isn't that something that we appreciate? Enhanced self-efficacy. Students develop confidence in their ability to learn and succeed. And then stronger critical thinking skills. This is very, very important as we are constantly shaping and shifting into different dimensions of the world. There's so much going on, so it can really throw us off. However, critical thinking skills are very important as this allows for adaptability. Personalized learning encourages students to think critically and solve problems independently. And then there's also better preparation for college and career. By developing self-direction and problem-solving skills, teenagers are better prepared for future challenges, which there's so many out there. I mean, there's so much stuff that's going on, which we may not fully understand. And so if you've come from school and you know the story, you were in school probably in the 80s, and then the 90s and maybe early 2000s. And now we're dealing with a whole host of new things, a plethora of new things, which we cannot fathom. But our youngsters are very much clued up on what's actually taking place around the world. So these are things that we then want to explore a little bit further. We continue on shortly as we are continuing to look at some good and fun things as we are learning about education for our teenagers and the developments that have been taking place around the world, which is probably there to aid in their learning processes, right? And so we're looking at some of these important aspects of it. And so we look at examples of personalized learning strategies. Okay, it kind of sounds technical, but in all honesty, it's just a way in which they're learning things. And we've talked about mastery-based learning, which is students progress to new material only after demonstrating mastery over previous concepts, right? So kids shouldn't be rushed into another level of learning when they haven't even figured out everything else they've been trying to do. And then there's project-based learning, which is students work on real-world projects that align with their interests. I really like this year. When you used to have school on the shop floor, kudara, kids used to go and work in supermarkets and learn how to do things on the ground. And I don't know if you were one of those who actually had the opportunity to work somewhere, just so that you'd learn what it's like to be in a particular environment, what it is going to teach you, processes and everything else alongside it. And then there's what's known as learning contracts. Students and teachers create contracts aligning learning goals and expectations. But you see, now everyone has to live up to that contractual obligation. But it's good. I think it kind of sets you in motion in terms of you achieving your goals. Then there's what's known as technology enhanced learning. And students use digital tools to access personalized resources and feedback. And then there's differentiated instruction, which is teachers provide various learning options to meet the needs of different students. This is great. Okay, I think this is very interpersonal. So when kids and teachers are there and they're understanding what's going on in each other's minds, a lot more can be achieved. So by implementing personalized learning strategies, schools can create a more engaging and effective learning environment for teenagers. Individualized pace, which is teenagers can learn at their own pace, preventing frustration for fast learners or boredom for slower ones. Because it happens. We're not all moving at the same pace. And I love this year when we would have Kidwonduku come and talk about this year. When you're dealing with individuals, you get to learn and see where they're at and meet them there. Then there's targeted support. Teachers can provide specific support to students who need extra help, ensuring no one falls behind. So, yep, no one left behind. And then, of course, we look at the deeper understanding of it. There's a strong foundation. By mastering one concept before moving on to the next, teenagers build a solid foundation for future learning. Okay. And then there's obviously the critical thinking we've talked about, which encourages students to think critically and problem solve as they need to demonstrate deeper understanding. And again, we've looked at motivation, which is a sense of accomplishment. Achieving mastery gives teenagers a strong sense of accomplishment, boosting their confidence. Because how many kids are actually confident in class? If they're not confident, it means something's very wrong and it needs to be addressed. And in the ownership of learning, which is empowering teenagers to take ownership of their learning, fostering independence. And I think once they get there, they really just can push. They really can push the boundaries. And then improved time management, efficient use of time. Teenagers learn to manage their time effectively as they work towards mastery. And self-discipline helps teenagers develop self-discipline as they set goals and work towards them. And then the whole important and most important thing that we are looking at, which is preparation for the real world. The real world is very different. Okay, so even we know that. And so the adjustment is quite something else. Real world skills. Develop skills like perseverance, problem solving, and self-regulation, essential for success beyond school. And then, of course, lifelong learning. The focus on deep understanding prepares teenagers for lifelong learning and adapting to new challenges. And by allowing teenagers to learn at their own pace, focus on deep understanding and develop essential life skills, mastery-based learning offers a promising approach to education. It is Capi Talk 100.4 FM, Harare's heartbeat, and my name is Brita Maselethulini, as we are enjoying some good times and fun times with you here on your Premier Talk radio station.